So, today we're going to talk about what is consciousness. What does it actually mean? And if you're new to my channel, I am going to ask the question of my guides in the Akashic Records and see what they have to say. They usually have a really great way of explaining it. So, give me a second and we'll get started. So, what they're saying is that consciousness, or to be conscious, or a rise in consciousness, when we talk about all of those things, there's a lot going around right now that is very skewed when it comes to talking about this. And that is happening because, unfortunately, people are using it to their advantage and using it as a means of kind of bringing people to agree with what they want them to agree with, if that makes sense. So, but what consciousness really is and what it really means to be conscious is very simple. It is living from a place of love and compassion. And so that feeling of unconditional love, that feeling of compassion, and specifically for yourself as well as for others, that is pure consciousness. That connection to love and to compassion and to non-judgment and to feeling able to live from that place more and more on a day-to-day basis, that is consciousness. That is a rising consciousness. And so anything that is not that is really a distraction from bringing you to true consciousness. And they're really bringing me back to the concept that the first thing to do, or the first place to begin, is to be able to have love and compassion for yourself and to begin to turn that inwards, because really the only way to connect with greater consciousness, greater even humanity at large, is to begin with that connection with yourself. And that's why it's so important. People talk about self-love, and we can feel the collective eye roll because it seems so over talked about. But the secret is that the moment that you can recognize who you are at your core, that you are that limitless potential, that is the divine spark, that is collective consciousness, that moment that you realize that that is who you are at your core, and you begin to love and have compassion for yourself and let yourself off the hook, and allow yourself to live from a place of grace, that is when you feel the rise in your consciousness. And as you feel that rise in your consciousness, you begin to be able to see everyone else as that same thing as well. And that is what is consciousness. Consciousness is seeing the essence of every single person that you come in contact with being equal to the essence that is within you. And that is consciousness. And so when people talk about, waking up to what is going on in our world, and waking up, yes, there is a part of us that wakes up during our individual rise of consciousness, but what we're waking up to is the fact that we are collective, we are one, we are all connected. And that's what we're waking up to. And sometimes it is the realization of how there can be people who have lost their way and who do not see and agree with that. And so, yes, sometimes there are realizations that happen along the way, but the true consciousness is realizing that we are all connected and that we are all one, and that we are all limitless potential, and we all have the same spark within us. And so as you come to that knowing, and as you begin to see it in yourself, that is what it means to have consciousness. That is what it means to be conscious. And so I hope this helped really solidify what it means, and also to kind of dispel some of the noise that's out there around consciousness, because at its core, this is what it is. And so I hope this helped, and I hope you're having a great day. Take care.